Unlocking the biblical secrets to wealth. It's not about luck, it's about you. Forget astrology, the real roadmap to prosperity is hidden in plain sight within the scriptures. It's all about your mindset, actions, and how you react to your finances. Think of it as a treasure map most people overlook. Imagine the life you could build if you could just decipher those clues. The Bible emphasizes that diligent workers find themselves in the company of influential leaders. This resonated deeply with me, revealing a core principle of abundance: unwavering perseverance. Many chase wealth through luck, connections, or risky gambles, but true prosperity follows a predictable pattern. This pattern starts with something seemingly simple, yet few maintain it long-term: daily consistency. Consider this: how many projects have you started with zeal only to abandon them weeks later? How often have you vowed to save, started strong, then fallen back into uncontrolled spending? This is common. Our minds crave shortcuts, instant gratification over sustained effort. This is the crucial difference between dreaming and achieving. My time with Toronto Fire Services was a stark example. The stability was comforting, but there was no upward trajectory, just a predictable routine. After reading Think and Grow Rich, I realized my lack wasn't intelligence or luck, but dedicated action. I launched a cleaning business with zero experience. The discipline of early mornings, diligent client visits, and treating each job as paramount generated over $100,000 in my first year. No magic, no special talent, just relentless persistence. You letting a lack of perseverance hold you back. How many times have you given up because you didn't see immediate results? People want instant harvests, but that's not how life works. The Bible doesn't promise royal court access overnight, but it outlines a process. Research from Duke University suggests over 40% of our actions are habitual. Perseverance isn't just willpower, it's creating routines that repeat until they become ingrained. Imagine if 40% of your daily actions aligned with prosperity. The outcome would be undeniable. Think of your role models. Steve Jobs didn't build Apple overnight. Years of innovation, testing, failures, and restarts were the foundation. Had he quit early, you wouldn't have a smartphone. Dedication is the invisible ingredient behind every significant success. This applies not just to work, but to your thoughts, emotions, and financial management. Overspending isn't a lack of opportunity, it's a lack of financial discipline. Feeling overwhelmed? It's likely a lack of prioritization and organization. Here's a challenge: for the next 21 days, choose one area where you lack consistency: waking earlier, tracking expenses, dedicating 30 minutes to reading. Choose something, and stick to it flawlessly. You'll discover that consistent dedication in one area influences others. You might think, I've tried, it didn't work. I've failed countless times. The difference is, when I chose not to give up, perseverance became character. Character is unshakable. Dedication is the first biblical sign of wealth because it prepares you for opportunity. Don't wait for everything to be perfect, act consistently, and be ready for the harvest. True wealth isn't how much you earn, but how much you sustain and multiply. The scriptures teach that without vision, the people perish. Most live without clarity, reacting to circumstances like leaves in the wind. They know what they dislike, but can't articulate their goals. Without a clear vision, the mind lacks motivation, it only works towards defined objectives. I experienced this firsthand. Early in my adult life, I lacked direction, drifting through jobs, gas stations, factories, grueling labor. Then I read Think and Grow Rich. It was like switching on a light in a dark room. I realized I needed a vision that transcended my current reality. It wasn't about where I was, but where I could be. Vision isn't just a wish, it's a clear, consistent mental image of your desired future. Walt Disney, fired for lack of creativity and bankrupt multiple times, exemplifies this. He envisioned parks, characters, and stories before the world did. This vision sustained him through setbacks. How does this apply to you? Envision your life in 5 or 10 years and begin acting as if it's already true. Neuroscience confirms this power. Visualizing activates the same brain regions as reality. Athletes use visualization before competitions. The brain doesn't clearly distinguish between the vividly imagined and the real. A consistent, clear vision trains your brain to believe it's possible and to find pathways to achieve it. We all use vision, often negatively. Ever imagined a tragedy before sleep? Created failure scenarios before attempting something? This is distorted vision. It paralyzes and confirms our fears. If negative vision has such power, imagine what positive vision fueled by faith and perseverance can do. I once saw only negative numbers in my bank account. It was humiliating, frustrating, everything reinforced scarcity. But I created a different vision, seeing myself lecturing, writing books, impacting lives. It seemed absurd, but this image gave me strength when all signs pointed to failure. That vision kept me going until reality aligned with my visualization. If you feel stagnant, try this. For 7 days, before any morning activity, write in detail how your life will be in 5 years. Write it as if it's already happened: your home, your work, your bank balance, your feelings upon waking. The more specific, the more powerful the impact. This isn't fantasy, it's mental programming, creating the map your brain will use to find routes. Vision is the second biblical sign of wealth because it creates a magnetic force. People without vision lose energy. Those with vision attract resources, ideas, and opportunities that seem to appear out of thin air. It's not luck, it's the alignment of mind, emotion, and action. When that happens, the impossible starts moving in your direction. The Bible teaches that some give freely and grow increasingly wealthy. This contradicts common belief. We're taught to hoard, protect every penny, as if wealth comes from accumulation. But Scripture reveals a different principle: generosity creates movement, and movement generates abundance. Stagnant money is like stagnant water, it decays. Money that flows, that circulates, always returns multiplied. I remember a time of near destitution. I was in debt, unsure how I'd survive. Yet, something compelled me to give. It made no sense. How could I donate when I barely had enough? I learned that generosity isn't about quantity, but attitude. I started with small donations, helping when possible, even symbolically. With each act of giving, an unexpected opportunity appeared: a new idea, a client, a connection. It was like unclogging a stuck faucet. Generosity isn't limited to money, it's your time, attention, knowledge. How often has someone needed encouragement, and you remained silent, preoccupied with your problems? When you step outside yourself and offer something, your life gains new meaning. Harvard research shows generous people report greater happiness, well-being, and even physical health. It's as if the act of giving programs your body and mind for abundance. The opposite is also true. How many stories of those who amassed wealth but lost it all because they lived only for themselves? The Bible repeatedly illustrates this. Accumulating without sharing is building on unstable ground. Many wealthy people live in fear of loss because they haven't understood that true wealth isn't about what you hold, but what you circulate. Generosity creates an invisible trust. By giving, even in scarcity, you tell the universe and yourself, I trust there's more, I don't depend solely on what I have. This breaks the fear of lack that traps millions in a life of scarcity. Think of Oprah Winfrey. Her generosity in sharing knowledge, opportunities, and resources made her one of the world's richest and most influential women. Her wealth didn't grow despite her generosity, but because of it. Generosity creates impact, and impact attracts prosperity. To apply this, choose a percentage, even 1%, of your income and put it into motion. Donate, invest in a cause, offer help without expecting immediate returns. Do this consistently and observe what happens. Don't expect instant results, but notice how your mind opens to possibilities you hadn't seen before. Generosity is the third biblical sign of wealth because it destroys the illusion of scarcity. It proves you already live in abundance, even when it seems you have little. When you act from this awareness, life finds surprising ways to confirm your trust. The flow never dries up for those who learn to circulate what they receive. The Bible urges us to be strong and courageous. Without courage, other virtues lose strength. You can have discipline, vision, and wisdom, but without the courage to act, everything dies within you. Fear is the greatest dream thief. How many times have you known what to do but didn't, fearing loss, failure, or judgment? Fear paralyzes more than a lack of resources. I know this from experience. At Toronto Fire Services, I had security and stability. Leaving seemed crazy. Fear whispered, "What if it doesn't work? What if you lose what little you have?" But a stronger voice said, "If you stay, you'll never know who you could become." I left and started my business without experience. That courageous step changed everything. Had I waited to feel ready, I'd still be fighting fires and dreaming of a life I never would have had. Courage doesn't mean absence of fear, but moving forward despite it. Michael Jordan missed over 9,000 shots and lost almost 300 games. Instead of letting fear of failure dominate, he used each setback as training. His iconic status stemmed not from perfection, but from the courage to persevere through repeated failures. Fear is natural, but it shouldn't dictate your life. Studies show over 80% of what we fear never happens. Most fears are mental constructs, illusions designed to protect us, but also to imprison us. Fear prevents investment, career changes, ending bad relationships, or saying yes to opportunities. It creates a safe, but mediocre, life. I recall a pivotal moment. Early in my cleaning business, a large contract came my way, far beyond my comfort zone. My initial reaction was fear. What if I can't deliver? What if I fail? But I told myself, accept it, then figure out how to do it. I secured the contract. It multiplied my business in short order. Had fear decided, I wouldn't have taken that leap. Courage always requires risk, and that's what terrifies. But the risk of acting is almost always less than the risk of inaction. The risk of inaction is years in the same situation, no growth, no fulfillment, no discovery of your potential. The risk of action is possible failure, but with the chance to learn and reinvent yourself. Try this exercise. Think of something you've postponed out of fear, a crucial conversation, a financial decision, personal project. Write down the worst possible outcome if you act. Then, write down the best possible outcome if it succeeds. You'll realize the worst is rarely as devastating as it seems, while the best can completely transform your life. Courage is the fourth biblical sign of wealth because it opens doors that fear closes. Opportunities rarely come wrapped in safety, they arrive disguised as risk, and only the courageous see that behind the fear lies a new reality waiting to be conquered. The Bible says, "Blessed is the one who finds wisdom and understanding." Money without wisdom becomes a burden, not a blessing. How many stories of people who gained great wealth only to lose it all? This happens because material wealth without mental and emotional preparation becomes unsustainable. It's like putting new wine into old wineskins, it can't withstand the pressure. I've witnessed this firsthand. People who won sudden fortunes, like lottery winners, often ended up worse off. Studies show most lose it all within 5 years. It's not a lack of money, but a lack of wisdom in managing, investing, and multiplying. It's as if the money amplified what was already inside: disorganization, insecurity, and lack of vision. Mike Tyson is a striking example. He earned millions but lacked financial wisdom, losing almost everything. Talent took him to the top, but a lack of understanding brought him down. True security isn't in what you possess, but in what you know how to do with what you possess. I learned this practically. When my cleaning business took off, the money poured in like never before. For someone from a background of manual labor and lacking formal education, it was almost unbelievable. At times, I was tempted to spend recklessly. I had to seek guidance, study, and learn financial management to avoid squandering what I'd achieved. I realized wisdom doesn't come automatically with money. Without it, money always goes away. Wisdom isn't just theoretical knowledge. Reading books without application is pointless. Wisdom is the fusion of knowledge and action. It's when you learn something and immediately put it into practice. The Bible values understanding, because understanding is knowledge applied to real life. Science confirms this importance. Stanford research shows people who learn to delay immediate gratification, choosing to wait for greater future benefits, achieve greater financial and professional success. This is a clear sign of wisdom, not spending everything now, but understanding that investing and building in the present generates abundance in the future. Reflect. How much time do you dedicate to acquiring wisdom about money, personal development, and your field? And how much time do you spend consuming content that adds nothing? Many spend hours on social media but claim they lack time to study or improve themselves. This is a lack of priority. If you want to grow, you need to choose what nourishes your mind wisely, not just with distractions. Wisdom also means choosing carefully who you listen to. Unlocking true wealth isn't just about accumulating riches, it's about mastering the art of abundance. My journey took a significant leap forward when I sought guidance from mentors who'd already achieved what I aspired to. Their insights were game changers, shortcuts that saved me years of trial and error. Think of it this way: over the next month, dive deep into one core element of your financial well-being, whether it's investing, time management, or building unshakable self-confidence. Study it, implement it, and watch what happens. This continuous pursuit of knowledge is transformative. It spills over into every aspect of your life. It's a fundamental principle. Wisdom is the bedrock of any lasting success. Without it, even the grandest plans crumble. With it, even modest beginnings can blossom into extraordinary prosperity. But true wealth isn't just about the bottom line, it's about multiplying your blessings and enjoying the journey. Giving back isn't just a nice gesture, it's a powerful universal law. It unlocks doors, fosters connections, and yields returns far beyond the initial act of generosity. When you share, even a little, you're essentially saying to the universe, and to yourself, I have enough, and I trust more is on its way. This belief unleashes an unstoppable cycle of abundance. Many mistakenly view giving as losing, but it's the exact opposite. Giving is planting seeds that yield a bountiful harvest in due time. This isn't just a spiritual principle, it's demonstrably true in countless lives, including that of Andrew Carnegie, one of history's wealthiest men. He famously gave away over 90% of his fortune, establishing schools, libraries, and foundations. The more he gave, the more he prospered, a testament to the fact that wealth isn't static, it's a flowing river. I've experienced this firsthand. In times of scarcity, I've chosen to help others, support causes, and invest in projects, and unexpectedly, opportunities have blossomed. Suddenly, the right people appeared, deals materialized, and contracts multiplied. Generosity isn't just charity, it's a strategic life hack. Science even backs this up. Studies show generous people are happier, more socially connected, and healthier. Giving releases dopamine and oxytocin, the feel-good chemicals that boost well-being and social bonding. When you give, you strengthen yourself, elevate your energy, and create a magnetic field of positivity around you. And remember, generosity isn't limited to money. It's about sharing your time, knowledge, and attention. A heartfelt piece of advice, an act of kindness, or a word of encouragement can be worth more than any sum of money. But with material prosperity in mind, remember money needs to circulate. Hoarding it out of fear creates stagnation, but moving it wisely, including giving, generates flow and expansion. Think of it like water. A stagnant pool becomes foul and unproductive, while a flowing river stays fresh and abundant. The more you share, the more room you create for new blessings. True generosity isn't measured by the amount given, but by the intention behind it. Jesus himself noted the widow's mite, a tiny offering, saying she gave more than all others because she gave wholeheartedly. Generosity isn't about how much you have, but about your willingness to share what you can. Embrace this principle, and you'll redefine wealth. It's not an end goal, but a means to transform, bless, and leave a legacy. You'll enter an infinite cycle of growth. The more you give, the more you receive, not just materially, but in peace, strong relationships, and purpose. This is the key to a truly prosperous life. You're not a slave to money, you master it, directing it towards good. This attracts even more abundance because the universe rewards those who know how to multiply not just for themselves, but for the benefit of many. True prosperity isn't just about what you accumulate, but how you let it flow through generosity. Learn to give without fear, and you'll unlock an endless cycle of abundance and purpose. Thanks for joining me. Check out the next video, now playing on your screen, to continue this journey together and become 1% better than you are today.